Okay. Well, heck of a trip.
We did it.
We did it.
We survived.
That was a heck of a road trip. So we started out. It's Tuesday night now, but
It is.
We started Saturday morning.
Early morning.
You met me here in my house at 8 a.m.
There was none of this here.
None of this. I mean, the stairs were there. The beer probably not so much because that was acquired. Yes. Let's just go ahead and just sweep over that. So we left here. We went to Texarkana, right?
Where we met Mark Compton, who was silly, and he shared.
Well, what was the purpose? Like, how did you know this guy?
So, guy I've interacted with a couple times, or more than a couple times virtually. He had donated some boxes for some fundraisers I've done. He bought me some Ozark, which we visited, but we didn't get any beer from.
No.
Bourbon double cream stout. And he said, "Hey, if you're ever in Texarkana, have a drink." So we did.
So we stopped there and we walked in to his house after a weird drive because so we get to Texarkana and the directions are go southeast of Texarkana. So I'm already iffy on go to Texarkana, but whatever. So now we're southeast of Texarkana and it says to turn onto this dirt road. And I think I made a
Not so joking.
comment to you
Not so
about like
joking.
where are you taking me? And
We've all
nobody
self-service.
knows where I am, so
Yeah.
I was concerned. Let's
There
be
was an
honest.
oil rig. There
Yep.
was nothing, and
He's a homesteader.
he's
we
a
knew
homesteader. We and then a congenial gentleman in a red shirt opens the door and
Yeah.
says, "Come on in." And
that. And what's wood? Because I already know the answer because I was there. But tell our viewers, what is laying beneath our gaze as we enter into the kitchen and see something displayed proudly on the kitchen counter?
Mark has opened for us a batch 7 of Zenny Frontera, which is a lambic that is aged in a combination of 10 40-year-old sherry barrels plus an Amontillado barrel that he has properly decanted,
Goodness,
and it was incredible.
yeah. That's how we started our trip.
And then he threw some back straps that he had cut, and he showed us the picture of the deer that it came off of, and
killed the deer and processed the deer on site, cooked it up for us,
it was incredible.
and then proceeded to open up.
Lambic Stoppers 15th anniversary, not the 20th. He isn't as
Which
big of a
bottle?
fan. Oh well, number now 26. Well, who knows what he has? I mean, he is now. He may have drank in one
Who
or
knows?
two.
Who knows?
But Lambic Stoppers, he had 27 of the bottle.
Crazy, insane. And then he wouldn't allow us to leave even after popping all those bottles.
There was also
sending
an
us home-
Iris 2013.
Without sending us home with some gifts. So I know he sent us home with these two, with this one here, and this one right here.
Yeah.
So he sent us home with 4 bottles
You'll
that are
note
all
the-
extremely rare.
You'll note the years that the most simplistic of those, the Canteen Creek, was a 3-year-old variety.
So we're now 4 or so hours into our road trip. So we leave there, which is a fantastic experience, amazing. And then we proceed to go to Little Rock, Arkansas, and go to Lost 40, which was doing, so happens, just timing wise, it worked out that they were doing a very special 90-night release. So we definitely, so you actually purchased these, which
Yes, I did.
Which is fantastic.
Purchased those.
But we had a great time. A couple of the guys took us under their wing and decided to give us the back room tour. They took us, we saw the foeder, we saw all their brewing equipment. They applied us with some samples. And then, of course, on our way out, they gave us some beer. Wouldn't take no for an answer. So we got some bottles, and there was one. I want to point out this one next to the vodka, if you want to grab that for our viewers, which is probably just you, me, and Jason, really, let's be honest. What is that?
So this was a Druid, which is a mixed cultured stout. It was a blend of 2 of their stouts in red wine barrels for 18 months with some Brett Thomases in it. It's got flavors of German chocolate cake with raspberry and dark cherry undertones.
That's crazy. I mean, we have bottles of Twig, we got bottles, 6-packs or 4-packs of different beers that they sent us home with. This red IPA, that I really liked.
There it is. We finally
very
found it.
similar. So, yeah. So now we're leaving Little Rock with a burden of gifts that we're looking forward to drinking.
Yeah.
And we proceed to Memphis, and we arrive in Memphis, and
You are welcomed with my dear friend Jim Cornfoot,
yeah,
who is special in all kinds of
very
ways.
very unique.
And we have a great central barbecue. Tait makes it turns out to be a good mistake of ordering turkey. And he says it's awesome.
It was fantastic. Best smoked turkey I've ever had.
And then from there we went to Wiseacre and met
Went
your
to
friend.
Wiseacre, yeah. Got to hang out with my buddy who used to be a coworker of mine who runs the sales there. Hang out at Wiseacre a little bit, and they also sent us home with some beer. So again, we're starting to stack the stairs at this point. We don't know that we're going to put it on the stairs, but that is what happened. So we stack stairs. We talked with their staff, hung out, got to see their
some dad
OG
jokes.
location, made some dad jokes, which is important.
And it happened to be a mile from where I met my wife, which is wonderful.
That's great. And then we ended up going to a fire pit and meeting
It's disappointing.
boring people, but that's a whole
another
other story.
story.
So we went to the fire pit for a little bit, and then we went to our Airbnb.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
First night of an Airbnb for us, which was in an old house, which is really cool.
Yeah.
All the wood creaks. We wake up the next morning. I'm impressed because the maple leaves have turned and there's
You
golden,
took
a
some-
bed of golden maple leaves on the path.
That was beautiful.
So it was great. And if I do this, you'll see this. If I don't do it, you'll hear me talk about it. Is in post, I can drop in pictures that I took. So I'm talking about it and you're seeing a picture right now. And if you're not, then I didn't do the edit. So then we leave and go to a place in Illinois called
Lambert's, which is home.
I almost forgot about Lambert's.
We went to Lambert's, home of the thrown rolls. I don't know how Tate can forget about that.
They throw rolls.
3 days later,
Hopefully I'll drop a picture of that too, so you can see a 2 pound ham. But that's where the story of snack ham came from, because I still have ham left over from 3 days ago, and I've tried my best to eat it all. There's only a little bit of snack ham left, but that's how long ham lasts when you buy it by the 2 pound slice.
and it comes in the frying pan.
Yes, yes. So hopefully I dropped you a picture of that. But then we left Lambert's and we went to Scratch.
I met Vlad.
Tell us about Vlad.
Vlad is our Bulgarian friend, whose wife loves to talk about fluorescing caterpillars that are attracted by black light, as are the moths, and all number of things. They also enjoy D&D, and they're what I wish I could have been at the age of 23.
Yeah. And Vladimir is what to Scratch?
He's an intern, and he is studying fermentology at Southern Illinois University. They said it really fast, but never quite figured it out.
So about a year away from getting his degree in fermentation, which is pretty freaking awesome. Why Scratch? Like, what's their thing? What's their hook?
Their hook is foraged ingredients, and so they use, for instance, this bottle is made with rose root.
He's lying. It's the beer in the bottle that's made with rose root. The bottle's not made with rose root.
Rose
Don't be
root
silly.
and
The
oak.
bottle's made of glass.
But they don't always even use hops in their beer.
Really?
And it was fascinating. It was a very unique and wonderful beer experience. Tate and I both walked away with wonderful merchandise. The one time
There's our heads. I got lazy. I
You
didn't
did.
look. I was
I
like,
got tired. It is getting late. So we enjoyed Scratch.
mm-hmm.
From Scratch.
Scratch was amazing. And then we went to
Where did we go?
we were told to go to
We were told to go to White Rooster.
to White Rooster, which is in a tiny town called Sparta. On the way to St. Louis. We had never heard of it until that moment. Walk in, there's one other customer, and it turns out that he lives in Addison.
Because of course, and he knows Tate.
Yeah, and he knows Tate. He knows me. Because
Of course.
what else would happen in Sparta, Illinois?
Well-
Except that you run into that. Oh, what else would happen in Sparta,
Well,
Illinois?
you get some very confidential medical information about some mental health patients.
Which we're not going to repeat on camera,
but we will never be able to forget.
We'll never forget.
Because that bartender.
He was unique.
He was special.
He was unique.
Strangely not the most interesting person we met, but that's for later.
But fascinating.
Yes.
Nonetheless. So, did we walk away with any beer there? I don't think we did.
The one I just showed, the white, the maple
Oh,
bar.
that one.
And with cinnamon, I think.
Oh, yeah. I really fixated on that. I remember.
You did.
Yeah, okay. I think I actually got that one, yeah.
One of us. You're
That's so
drafting
weird.
it if you did.
Yeah.
One of us is getting that.
Okay, so then we went on to St. Louis, and there was nothing open that night except for Schlafly.
Schlafly.
We got in tabs. We got in pretty late. Well, not pretty late, but it was like 7-something or something like that.
It is what it is.
So we went to Schlafly, had a few beers there outdoors because they had just shut down because of COVID. And then we went to our Airbnb, which was run by an Indian woman. So she had handmade Indian blankets and stuff.
We ate snack ham.
We ate snack ham.
Well, you ate snack ham.
Did we have a beer there?
We had the King of Terrace, which was a wonderful stout.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beer consumed, so forgive us.
One of the best stouts that I think I've ever had, and we drank it out of coffee mugs. Yeah, because that's what you do when you're on a road trip and have snack ham in front of you. So, what next?
Then we woke up.
Uh-huh.
And we killed time, and then we went to Narrow Gauge.
No.
Yeah, that was no. First, we went to the Wine and Cheese place, which is a wonderful bottle shop in St. Louis. Highly suggested if you ever in the
Wine
area.
and Cheese is a misnomer. They sell other things.
Yeah, they do sell some liquor, as evidenced by the barrel.
Barrel double tail that I had to procure when I saw that because it's amazing. But also a really good bottle selection, and you picked up the Abraxas, which is a very, 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 very good stout. So you got a couple bottles of Abraxas there. I found a bottle of Memphis Uncle Jacob's. I got that Barrel Dovetail, and we got some chocolates.
We got some chocolates.
Yes.
Brandy cherries.
And the bourbon caramels or something.
Whatever.
So
those are the making. They're not pictured.
No. Because they've been eaten. You're about to be. I have a certain set of skills. You're about to be eaten.
From there, we made it to Narrow Gauge,
where
we tried some really good IPAs.
Yep.
In a strip mall Italian restaurant combo thing.
Yeah, which was an unusual look. They had the COVID shutdown as well, so you couldn't dine in. So we had to sit outside at the cold, which is fine. But they brought us a decent flight of all their beers, so we had to try everything that they had on tap.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Came home with some more. And then from there, we went to Four Hands.
Did we go straight to Four Hands from Narrow Gauge?
I think we did.
Oh, man.
I don't think we ever ate lunch.
Dude, Four Hands was fantastic.
Yes.
I know you hate this word. I didn't know this before 2 hours ago. But it had a good vibe. Had a really good vibe. And I apologize, but I don't have a replacement word yet. I haven't thought this through. Had a really good vibe. 2-story place, super cool. Their beer was really good. One of the guys that worked there, his name was Chris. He talked to us for a little bit and gave us some samples of their spirits, which were really
gin.
Oh, the gin was fantastic.
Wonderful. But they didn't have much of it to sale, so
no. So I didn't get to try the vodka, so I bought a bottle of their vodka. I don't know what it's going to taste like, but it's orange blossom and honey. They had some other ones. But that's the one I ended up picking. So there you go. Four Hands.
And then we wandered around the streets of St. Louis to kill time.
Right. To kill time, because we had to pick up some stuff from Sideproject, but
Which
it's
was a
not
story.
until 4 p.m.
Yeah, because we almost thought we were going to... The entire point of this trip was Sideproject's Beer Barrel Time, the black bottle up there. And on Monday, the day that we drove from Dallas to St. Louis to pick it up, they had a problem with their internet orders, and we almost didn't get to leave with it, which would have been bad.
Would have been bad. Would have had to leave.
But so we literally we hit and ran.
Yeah,
we hit them and we ran. They threw bottles in the car, and there's the beer. We're a bottle short. We only had one, but that's the one. That's what that launched everything else.
You only got one of these?
I got two, but I picked up for other people.
Okay, so the other one's already been shipped.
Yeah, the other one's already been shipped.
All right, so
We needed some pizza, so we went to Emo's for St. Louis style pizza, which was fantastic and a little bit unique. And then, thanks to Roadside America, we found a mini Stonehenge, which was cool. We had some beers there. Then saw a sign and got some fudge at Uranus Fudge Factory.
From there, we met the most interesting man of the trip. Our Airbnb got canceled on us, and we ended up staying at a stranger's house, which was...
we decided to go to Springfield, Missouri, because it made sense logically to do part of the trip to Rogers, Arkansas that night, because nothing was going to be open until a certain time anyway. So we do part of the trip that night, then wake up and do the rest of the trip and get into Rogers just as things are opening, which made a lot of sense. But like you said, we found out that our Airbnb was no longer available, and he contacted the proprietor.
Sure.
Okay.
The host. They call him host.
The host. We contacted the host.
And then he proposed that we stay, instead of the 2-bedroom apartment thing, that we stay in the 1920s garage, which may play in later.
Like an old gas station converted.
300 feet.
But it only had one bed. It was 300 square feet.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, we're not doing that. So
then he sent us a picture and said, well, come to my house and stay at my house.
Yep.
And we debated whether or not we were going to get murdered.
We did not, because we're taking this video.
And we decided to take the leap, and we figured it's an adventure. So let's do it.
Adventure.
And we go to the house, and we're welcomed by a sweet old man who was a little eccentric. He was so eccentric.
He was eccentric.
So eccentric.
O'Reilly. So we walk in. I mean, it's a 2-story mini mansion basically, and I spot a Steinway as we walk in, and I'm a piano player. I noticed that's a beautiful thing. He brought us straight upstairs, and I immediately noticed another Steinway. As soon as we got up to the top of the stairs and we see the first bedroom. Wait a second. So I inquired, and he's like, oh, no, I have more Steinways than that. There's also a 9-foot Steinway in the recording studio. Recording studio? Why would you have a recording studio? So we asked, and he told us, well, I write jingles, and I'm in some bands and stuff. And obviously the follow-up question is,
which one?
We recognize, And so he proceeds to tell us that he wrote the O'Reilly's Auto Parts jingle. That was him. And he told us quite a few stories about jingles and some other random stories, some of which we will not share at this juncture, but turned out to be a very interesting fellow who lived across the street from a house
that Jerry Jones' parents bought, and when Jerry was in college, I assume, and Jerry Jones ended up living across the street from him, or at least in the house across the street from his current house, and operating a local pizza joint.
Even today was interesting. Let's be honest.
We had great beer at Bentonville.
Yeah.
A little 6-pack there.
We went to Bentonville.
Some salted cherry sour there.
Yeah. The owner was there.
Katie.
I guess co-owner, because her and her husband is the brewer, and she's kind of the face of the brewery, and then they have a partner as well. But she was very gregarious, showed us around, and sent us home with some beer. Gave us, because what you don't see in this picture is all the beer we actually drank on premise, because when we were... So anyway, we had a fantastic time there. They were wonderful people. Their beer was good, crisp and clean, and
we're underselling them
flavors.
Because we've been going for 19 minutes. And
we want to wrap up so we go to bed. And then and then we went to lunch at a client of mine, and then we went to Ozark, and again they gave us one of every beer that they had. So we sampled at least 40, 50, 60, 70 beers.
In addition to that, we just counted
the ones we brought home.
The 50 varieties of beer.
Yeah.
And alcoholic beverages.
Yeah. Which is a lot.
Oh, and we forgot.
51? John. Oh, John.
John Payne. We found you.
Extreme close-up.
Organic gin.
Organic.
It's a little baby bottle. Look at.
Is it?
It's a finger.
Or is it really big? Or is it really small? Who knows? But he's going to enjoy it. And then we headed home, and then proceeded to discover that there were some severe thunderstorms headed towards the road we were on, and we had some concerns. So we pulled over.
And went to the
We're
casino.
like, well, I don't know how far we can go. What's at the next exit? Oh, hey, look, it's Choctaw Casino.
Why not?
We'll kill a little time there.
And
And I walked out $280 up.
$281.24. Be
Wow,
exact.
that was specific. But I'm down a little bit because I bought a beer. I bought 2 beers.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, anyway. And then we came home and
did
put
this?
all the beers on the stairs and proceeded to do the video. So
One last flyover.
I'm gonna do a flyover.
I'll get my leg out of the way.
I don't know if what you can recognize and what you can't, but that's fine. It's just a beautiful thing. 50 or 51 varieties here. More cans and bottles than just that, but varieties.
Yeah.
And now it's time to figure out which ones go home with you, which ones stay here. So anyway, good trip.
Goodbye.
Lots of conversation, lots of beers we sampled that we didn't really even talk about. We just kind of mentioned in passing.
That's a follow up.
4-day amazing trip. Like so much happened, so
10 out
much
of 10.
greatness. But I will tell you this. This is a good fellow right here.
So was that.